Alright, gonna do a quick, fast little video. We're gonna go ahead and lift the car up front, and we're gonna do a little bit of brake inspection, the hubs, things like that. We'll also check out, make sure our little brake ducting we installed is still readily attached. Just check it out. We'll look at the brake pads, make sure brake pad wear is even, making sure that the rotors don't have any kind of funky wear on them, because it is just a whole brand new system. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so our brake tuck is nice, still firmly attached. The brake rotors, they look good. Doesn't look like anything odd. There's no grooving. I can't feel grooving. Looks like the brake pads are wearing evenly. Still turns freely. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Then let's check this hub. Ooh, so we need to add some grease to this guy. I'm gonna add some Redline CV2 grease. Ha, boom. All right, got my grease gloves, lube gloves. So now we'll open this guy up. Perfect. And then we're just going to take a scoop of this guy. We'll take a little glob of this guy right here. And we're going to put it right here in the cap. And then, bam. We'll go ahead and get this guy back on here. Bump, bump, bump. Because you want to make sure those bearings have plenty of grease. That's important. Super duper important. Alright, so with the other side, kind of feels pretty good. There's no grooves in here. Rotor moves freely. We have our duct work, still up there. Pads look like they're wearing even. Nice. Good. No loose hardware. So, like the other one had looked a little low on the lube, this one as well. So, we've got our lube. We'll lube this back up, throw the wheel back on it. We can set the car down, call it good, and then we'll probably talk about what's next for maintaining fluids, lube, moving forward. Get our Redline CV stuff and get a nice finger full of it, and we'll just coat this guy. Little dust cap. And we're gonna fill this guy up right there. So while we have the wheel off, car up in the air, we're gonna go ahead and grease our suspension fittings. So passenger side's all greased up. Driver side. And you don't need to grease the heck out of this thing. Just need a couple pumps and you're done, because there's already grease in there, and if you just make it overflow out of that joint, But then you're gonna have grease all over your brakes, all over your suspension, and it's just, it's not worth the best. So typically, all these joints get greased every oil change. And that's basically, like I said, just 1-2 pumps on each joint. The front end has 6 grease zerks. There's one at the top of the control arm, one at the bottom of the control arm, and one at the steering tie rod that gets greased. Now, in the back of the car, we're going to wait because we're waiting for that gear oil to get in. We'll do the rear grease fittings when we get the rear end all lifted up. Where the torque arms, there's 2 on the torque arms. There's 2 on the center triangulated end links. And I think that's it. So there's 8 grease zerks on the rear suspension. And in a later video, I'll definitely show you guys. So, feel much better. Check the bearing grease. So we added a little. It seemed like it was a little on the lighter side. So added grease. Then the front suspension also got greased. Double check. Pad wear seems to be fine. Rotors seem to be fine. The ductwork seems to have held on. I have kind of driven around a little bit. Got it up to maybe 60 miles an hour. It holds up, you know. We'll find out if it can handle it over, you know, triple digits, you know, when we go racing. So now let's talk about the next steps, or what's going to be next for the Mustang in its immediate future. Is one, we're waiting for racing gear fluid, or racing gear oil. Specifically Torco. Specifically waiting on this stuff. This is Torco racing gear oil 85W140. That's what the rear axle use. It's another one of those specific things that the you know, axle and differential manufacturer specified that, hey, use non-synthetic Torco, you know, racing gear oil. It'll be good for those extreme conditions. Because when we drive this, typically it's in the extreme condition. It'll provide it adequate, you know, protection, lubrication for if we're ever cruising for long periods of time. It also kind of will manage the wear, the heat that gets built up. Anyways, after that, we might play with some ideas of what we're going to go do with the car, when we're going to go racing, are we going to go do road rallies, car meets, such things like that. Also, I think we'll go ahead and start another video series kind of asking you guys and getting a little feedback for possible modifications or possible things to add on to the car as far as cosmetics and the looks or performance or safety or things like that. So keep an eye out for that. That should be coming up very soon. As well as we're about to start, I know a lot of these videos are categorized as wrenching. Don't worry, pretty soon we're going to be doing the racing and having fun part very soon. Just got to get past these holidays. Like everybody, we're going to go see family. We're going to go have some fun. We're going to do all that stuff. But more content is definitely about to start coming out. I know lately it's just been me rebuilding the car, working on the car, wrenching on the car. You guys are probably just as sick of this garage setting as I am. So I'm working on it, and we're going to get out and about very soon. So I appreciate you watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.